Hey guys, I'm back. At least I try to be back. My voice is completely still gone a little bit, but I could not let you wait any longer because right now we are experiencing potentially the last major pullback for Bitcoin before we go back over $100,000. And that's why I had to come out, show you where we can potentially still get a nice position to take advantage of the next move, and also about some altcoins. Yeah, and that is why I had to come out and make this video. So if you think that's interesting, then let's go, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Monday today. I almost forgot again which day it is. Will here in between sometimes grab a new of these pills here, so that I can keep talking and not coughing. I'm gonna jump directly into the charts because I don't know how long my voice is going to last, and I want to get the most out of it for you guys. So here, the DXY is getting rejected from this downwards sloping trend line as expected. And I believe that this downward sloping trend line will be not broken anytime soon in the near future, and rather that the DXY will keep falling in direction here of 106.5 points, break that horizontal level, and will start going into the lower section here all the way down to 103, even to like 100 points over the next 2 months. And that will lead to massive rallies, not only in the stock market but also of course in the crypto market. And that is one of the reasons why we also see Bitcoin now starting to turn around already, because over the day we went down, which was expected after like a 15% move yesterday because of the strategic Bitcoin reserve that was announced. So a pullback is absolutely normal after such a move. So now we are already recovering that move, and I'm going to show you what I actually did. So here, some people are arguing, yes, but we have here like the biggest CME gap ever right now on the chart that has to be filled first before we go higher. No, huge mistake, guys, to think that we do something like this here and then continue to go up. This CME gap, we had this in the past, in 2020 or 2021, I can't remember. We had also the biggest CME gap ever so far. And that CME gap remained open until the bear market started, until Bitcoin hit the top in that bull cycle and started to turn around and came back down to fill that gap. The same is what I expect here right now with that gap. The worst case scenario is what I currently see is that we come back down just below 90k here to that white line, bounce from there and continue upwards on the CME chart, but not starting to completely fill this CME gap here, because that would then again cause massive problems structure wise. And this is just right now not a scenario really viable. So it's not a viable scenario right now with all the bullishness in the market because of the strategic Bitcoin reserve that was just yesterday announced. Therefore, this morning I took actually here over $100,000 profit on my trade that I had open for 2-3 days, just because I knew there is potentially a pullback coming. So I set a stop loss. I also told everybody in my Telegram that I set a stop loss on this trade in profit. And then when I started to see that slightly turning around, that's when I reopened the trade basically with the profits. And now I'm gonna write this again here to like $98,000, which will give me another $54,000 of profit potentially. Maybe I will even let this ride higher, but I'm gonna have a look when we get there, not right now. Again, guys, if you want to trade on ZoomX, best non-KYC exchange out there, there's a link in the description and the pin comment below. And don't forget, I told you I'm gonna take this account again from 100k to a million. I'm again within a day I'm at $211,000, you know, so $111,000 in one single day. So don't tell me that you cannot 10x your account in 2 months. If I make 100% on even more, I made 111% in a single day, you know, so with considerably low leverage on Bitcoin. So if you want to follow me on this journey, use ZoomX. That's one of the accounts where I do that. We're going to get later into other accounts where you can also do that and actually get some other bonuses on top of that. When we look at the Bitcoin chart here on the daily chart, you see that massive pump that came when the reserve was announced. So like I said, today getting here a small pullback, absolutely normal. But then we getting bought up like this here already and are back at $93,000. Also here the MACD is about to print a buy signal. Stochastic RSI has still a lot of room to go higher. The RSI is just starting to be bullish and slightly turning around here. So I believe before we see here a massive downwards candle again, like a $2,000-$3,000 move to the downside, the next time I think we will be over $100,000. I think with the momentum left on the RSI, we could reach here $102,000 before you see here a rejection like slightly below $100,000, then come above, consolidate, bull flag, and then up again. So that is most likely what's going to happen. That's at least that's what I'm seeing. So you can also make the argument that we are starting to get here an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So here the right shoulder is basically missing and half of the part of the head. But once that is completed, that will give us a target past the all-time high in the long run. Also here on this daily chart, I told you from the get-go, I have seen this here, I have seen it many times before. I hope you listened, guys. I told you this is a deviation. This is unnatural. We're gonna bounce from that area. I told you because every single time in the bull run when it happened, we got a massive move to the upside. Every single time with no exception. And here it was no different. So here the ceiling is around at $100,000. But like I said, I believe we can get above that, potentially wick higher, 4 or 5%, maybe 2 to 4%, come back to that level, consolidate, then we move higher. On the MDX Algo Scalp Gradients, also here, not unnatural to get continuation on the reactor indicator, even after we got here some topping indications. And also on the colorization. So we went up here, ran of course hot, came down to the golden ratio, bounced from that currently, and now continue to go higher. So also here, this looks like continuation pattern to the upside. So the next stop is here the extension of the golden ratio to 1.618 at $97,600 approximately. That could give us some sort of a resistance with the downward sloping trend line here coinciding with that, and also on the 4-hourly chart. So if you look here is already the left shoulder, the head, and right now the formation of the right shoulder in progress, and the downward sloping trend line will be the neckline that we need to break. And once we do that, I need to see how low it can go until here. So let's say we break it here. So that already brings us into a new all-time high of $115,800. So if you're waiting for a trade on Bitcoin, the next trade that you can take is either a throwback to $91,800. So you can set some limit orders there, or you wait that we get above with a 4-hourly close, $93,700, because see here that horizontal level is also a resistance. Once we close the 4-hourly candle above that, then we should get continuation, and then you can take advantage of the overall breakout of the inverse head and shoulders pattern. If you want to play it really super safe, then just wait for this downward sloping trend line to be broken. Again, with a 4-hourly close before you enter a trade. Now on Buy DeFi, also here guys, I told you I'm gonna 10x this account. If you sign up on Buy DeFi, we are up here already 74% on the account overall, so like 0.7%, 0.7x overall, yes, 0.75x on a percent also in a single day, guys, in a single day. And I'm not taking a profit before, how much is that? 109. How much is it giving me? I know, $14,000, $15,000. So basically double. So there will be like 1.5, 1.7x then of the account already. So the account will be sitting at $25,000, and I only use $3,400 to do that. So maybe on the way up, I will keep adding to this trade because it's already so massively in profit, and just set a stop loss at the entry to make sure that I don't lose any money. And that's most likely what I'm gonna do. Again, on Buy DeFi, if you sign up here right now, you get 15% cash back on your deposit. So that means you can use the 15%, for example, for a bigger stop loss, or you can just add more margin to your trading, because you get 15% instantly credited into your account. So take advantage of that, because I don't know how long that will be available on Buy DeFi. And I think it's amazing, especially in the moment right now where you want to position yourself the best way possible for the next leg to the upside, because they technically kicked off altcoin season yesterday with that announcement. So you want to make sure that that you can take full advantage of that and get as much money as possible into the market right now. So and why not do that with an exchange where you get 15% of your money back and can add this to your position actually. Also there is a link in the description below. Here the high leverage liquidity on the liquidation levels is still here at the 50 moving average. So you see we got rejected from there yesterday, which is no surprise. But now the next time that we come up here, I expect that we're going to break through that and go here to like $100,000 before we get any major rejection, because here's low leverage in that area, but the high leverage will be completely taken out. The underlying high leverage down here will remain for the rest of the bull run or until they decide to close the position, because the fees to hold the trade will just be astronomical and they don't want to hold a trade like that. But otherwise, they're going to remain here. The same goes here with that position. If we don't see like a flash move down here, like I said, and then up, they're also pretty safe. Also here, clearly, the highest area of concentrated liquidity on the 1 week chart is here around $95,700 currently. That is the imminent next target. Do you see here below at around 85 would be an interesting area to liquidate longs. But again, that would change so much the structure that I'm not expecting this anytime soon to be actually happening, that we go all the way down and take this here out. Like I said, down here possible, you know, but all the way down here, not really, guys, not really. That would be insane, you know, so that we round trip that whole move. And there must be something absolutely insane happening, like, I don't know, NATO says to Zelensky, you get whatever you want, you know, let's fuck up Russia, you know, so that kind of thing, you know, a World War III thing. That could cause something like that. But otherwise, something else I wanted to show you guys today, and I'm going to make a special video about this, so to show you actually how to do that. Because I know a lot of you guys have lost, what was it, a week ago in a crazy move to the downside. Yeah, that whole rinsing process, here all the way down to like $78,000. No, a lot of you guys have lost money on leverage. That's why I partnered up with another exchange where you can make a lot of money trading without actually using leverage. So, and that is Pionex. So on Pionex, you can use grid bots. I'm gonna set up here my own grid bot tomorrow or after tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm moving, so I'm definitely not gonna do that tomorrow. But like after tomorrow, yeah, most likely after tomorrow. So what the grid bot is doing, here in a green area, on all these lines, the grid bot will split the money that I have across these lines and buy every single time when we hit one of these levels, and sell any time that we are getting here in one of the red levels. So what it basically does is it sells and buys for you automatically in that range, in that trading range that you're gonna set, and that way you can increase your Bitcoin portfolio on autopilot without worrying that you get liquidated. So the worst thing that can happen is that price falls out of that range in either direction, and we'll just stop buying or we'll stop selling. You know, so that's the worst thing that can happen on a grid bot. So now you can also use a futures grid bot. There you can get liquidated. That's something else. But I will also show you how to use the futures grid bot. Or I'm gonna set up one and you can just copy my futures that we're gonna use on super low leverage, like 2-3x, just to make sure that you don't get liquidated, but still can increase either your USDT or your Bitcoin. But Bitcoin would be much, much smarter on that grid bot. So if you want to do that with me together on Pionex, I'm gonna leave now a link in the description and pin comment below for Pionex. Make sure that you sign up there, and I'm gonna drop most likely a video over the weekend, so you have enough time to get on the platform, to look around, how it feels and everything. And most likely on the weekend I make a video and explain you exactly step by step what you have to do to just follow me on my own grid bot or to create your own grid bot. You know, so I'm gonna explain you how you can do both basically. So, and again, you can do this only with spot or on futures. It's up to you. You know, I'm gonna do both, but what you do is up to you. You know, so but I'm telling you, if you do spot, it's impossible usually if you lose, that you actually lose money. Bitcoin dominance is rampaging here to the upside, which is not a real surprise with a Bitcoin reserve being announced. But I don't see that we are breaking a 62% anytime soon. Rather tomorrow that we get a nice downwards move here back, and then the altcoins will continue to pump to the upside. So there are some of them still going up, but some of them are also suffering. I'm going to show that here in a second, because here you see the total free market cap ran into resistance at $926 billion, which was also not a surprise to get a rejection from there. We are bouncing currently a little bit, but here by the end of the week, I see us trading above that level, which will give us a lot of money back on our altcoins. If you still have altcoins on leverage, for example, or also on spot, we're going to get a good chunk back of the money that we lost and then get continuation to the upside. So Ethereum is also bouncing from that former support zone, which is now again support at around $2,340. Here you see already on the 4-hourly chart, the stochastic is slowly turning around and the RSI doing the same thing. So I would say this here is right now a bottom consolidation before you get here another attempt to break above $2,500. And once we are above that level, you get quick continuation into $3,000. I don't think that Ethereum will wait a long time to go to $3,000 once we are above 2,500, and it might happen in a daily candle like this here. One single candle, just from 2,500 straight up to 3,000. One single candle to the upside. So also here, currently good level to get back into Ethereum, also to accumulate on spot, or even to open a low leverage long position. The same goes for Solana. Solana is coming back to the level that I called out for getting back into Solana on the way up. So now on the way down, the same thing. So we are pretty close to it right now. I would consider entering here if you're not already in a Solana position. Because also here you see the same like with Ethereum. Looks like that we are bottoming out here while the stochastic is turning around, the RSI turning around, the MACD will open up again and will continue to fly. And the next major resistance is around $200 before anything. So we had here a little bit of resistance at $180, but I don't believe that this is going to hold the next time that we come up here. And then the next one is 200. So if you want to make a quick 25% in a matter of a couple of days, that's your trade. That's your trade, guys. The next one is Sui. I have currently also Sui trade running. My entry level is around $3.20. I was holding this for a while. I was holding this from all the way over here, I think. So I'm still in it. My liquidation price is super low. And also here I see continuation over the next coming days. Then basically in the worst case, you just wait the next 3.5 hours to see what this candle is doing and how the next candle is starting out. But if you see the next candle going up a little bit and going above $3, that's where you want to enter, because the next stop will be $3.75, $4 really, really, really quickly. Especially when you see that downward sloping trend line broken. So once Sui breaks that trend line here at $3.40, it's going to fly really, really fast, really, really quickly, and you want to be rather in it instead of missing out on it. So here also I'm not hiding my Bybit trade. I'm still in a massive loss here on my Coty trade, still $70,000 in a loss, but it was way worse. So to be fair, it was way worse. And we are bull flagging here currently, So again, if you want to trade on Bybit and also get a Bybit debit card, then use the link in the description and the pin comment below, and you still get also a $500 airdrop position. Plus, then I'm gonna pull a winner of $500 again this Sunday, maybe multiple, who knows? But you need to sign up between today and Sunday with only if you don't have an account yet, So to potentially win your $500, get it credited into your account, and then you can go trade with it. And trust me, even with $500, you can make a lot of money in this bull run if you just do what I'm telling you. So take advantage of that with the link in the description below. So now here with Coty, we were forming here on the 1 hourly chart a small falling wedge that we also broke out of a little bit. But this is not really convincing to me just yet. So I want to adjust this here just a little bit. So because it could be that we're getting here a third touch at some point. So here, first of all, another touch to the bottom side, then up again, upside before we break out. The upside target, if I would count this as a pennant or bull flag, so it would be roughly 11 cents, 0.3. Also here, definitely worth taking the trade from a risk to reward perspective, even from current levels, So look at this here. So this is a 27.5% move to the upside against a 7% stop loss. Definitely worth taking that trade, So that's why I keep holding the trade, because I know at some point when Ethereum starts to get going like crazy, that Coty will do something like this within a matter of days, and I will be at zero and can then set a proper stop loss and then just continue to ride this into my target that I have of around over 20 cents. The next one is Telegram. Here also, either you wait for the break of the downward sloping trend line to enter this. This might be still a little bit prematurely right now. So you have two options to enter this, either at $3.37 when we break that level, or if we come back here into that buy cluster of $3.30, $3.22, and trade this from here all the way up into the next major resistance of $3.89. But also don't be mistaken here. There's so many imbalances on the chart that I see here straight away. They need to get filled on the way up. So this can also accelerate really fast all the way up here back almost to $5. Injective also needs a little bit more time here, in my opinion. Another 8 to 12 hours to turn around. But when we come here into that buy cluster, you can open a position and hold it. and set your stop loss just below here at $12.16 roughly, and your take profit would be at $22. You know, so that is also a really, really good risk to reward ratio, like 60% to the upside, roughly, I think, from current levels. Yeah, 62.7% to the upside, just on that single trade. Also here, you have a downward sloping trend line that you can monitor. That will be your final sign that Injective will explode to the upside and will go back to the $20 level. And the last one, Optimism. Optimism is kind of trapped between that big sell cluster and the underlying buy cluster. It's just consolidating here, but the indicator is telling me that this is also ready to turn around when I look at the stochastic and the RSI itself. So also here, get ready in the next 3 hours, potentially with the next 4-hourly candle, to get a move here back to like $1.20. You know, so just wait how this 4-hourly candle is closing in the next opening. If the next one is pushing to the upside, that's your sign to enter, and you can keep holding this all the way up to like $1.64 roughly. You know, so that is a really, really good trade, even from current levels. This is like a 48.5% trade. So you see there's a lot of opportunity right now in the market. I don't see any major downside right now, unless something crazy happens again on the world stage. But from a technical perspective, we should continue to go up here over the next 24 hours. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And I hope my voice will be better tomorrow and you will have more money. And see you then.